Makeup can make you look like you got a facelift. It can literally be the plastic surgery, but without the surgery part. Let me show you how it's done. Let's start with our eyes. Let's snatch those babies right up. After priming and setting with the powder, you're gonna take a fluffy crease brush and you're gonna add a bronzer into the crease. You wanna warm that area up in a really soft and flattering way, and that's exactly what bronzer does. It's a really easy way to warm up that area. Now for this look, you're not gonna wanna round it out too much. Okay, you actually wanna take your brush and you wanna sweep upwards and outwards towards the temple in a more lifted position. Using a flat shadow brush, the next step is to take a matte highlight shade and stamp out the eyelid to open it up and frame it out. If you want to add a little bit of iridescence to the lid, right to the middle, you can do that by stamping it out with your fingers. Now the eye lifting magic really happens in the liner work next. You're going to want to add a really creamy liner that's easy to blend. Okay, the formula has to be easy to blend. You're going to want to add that to the outer third of the eye and then use a pencil brush to blend, soften, and stretch it upwards and outwards, again towards the temple. You can already see how this very simple technique is already giving the illusion of the eye line lifting up. Even if your eyes aren't upturned, you'll start getting that effect by placing your liner and stretching it up. If you make a mistake or you just lack precision, that is okay, because you can always go in with a makeup wipe or even a Q-tip and clean up that line before moving on. That's why we always want to do the eye work first, because you can sharpen and clean everything else up before moving on. Now the next step is to curl your lashes. Curling your lashes is essential if you want a lifted eye. So before applying your mascara, make sure to lift those lashes up as much as you can, and then go ahead and coat them. The last step in achieving an eye lift with makeup is applying a half lash to that outer third of the eye. I did this by choosing a lash that is specifically marketed for lifting, cutting it in half, and using the inner half on the outer half of my eye. So I just added it right here to the outside to lift up that eyeline. Now let's move on to the face. The first thing you want to do is even out your complexion with whichever foundation is your favorite. And then once you have that layer on, you can go into the areas that need more coverage with your concealer of choice. You are also going to want to use your concealer to brighten up certain areas. Okay, so not just the imperfections, we're also going to use it as a bit of a highlighter. So as you can see here, I like placing it down the nose and into that eye hollow. So where I have a little dip, I also like popping forward my nasal labial folds, and I like lifting up the eyeline. One other area that I like to brighten is from my mouth line upwards. Okay, in order to blend all of that out, you want to press it into the skin using a concealer brush or a damp beauty blender. This technique is called stippling, and it's a great way to blend out products in a really precise and balanced way. Even without adding any shadows yet, you can already see how this has given me a little mini facelift. Now, before we start adding powder shadows, you have to set the face with powder. Powder products will grab and stick to creams. So if you try to contour and blend on a cream base, it will get patchy and muddy very, very quickly. That is why I am setting my entire face with powder here. Powders work better on powders, just like creams work better on creams. So keep that in mind. If you're the type of person that doesn't like powder, you like to use cream products, you may be better off contouring with a cream contour. So if you want me to make a video about that, just let me know in the comment section below. I can make the same video but using cream contour products as well. Today though, we are going to focus on powder because in my opinion, it's an easier way to get a great result. Okay, now when it comes to contouring the face, you're gonna wanna start with a bronzer. Bronzers and contours are very different products, okay? People get them mixed up a lot. Bronzers are warm toned and their intention is to mimic a natural tan from the sun. Contours are actually cool toned and their intention is to mimic a naturally occurring shadow. They can be used at the same time. I always use them together, but they're used for different reasons and they're placed in different areas. There are obviously no rules to makeup and different artists do things differently, but I like to use a bronzer like a transition shade to actually help blend the contour. So I always place it where the sun naturally hits the face. That is on your forehead, around the hairline, and on the higher zones of the cheek. By doing that, you can already see how we've brought dimension back into the face. So the face no longer looks flat, it looks dimensional, which is very, very flattering. Now that we have that as our base, we can then add our cooler shadow, which is our contour, into the areas where we want to sculpt. So here we're creating natural shadows. So pay attention to my placement here. I'm going to go right under my bronzer, but not in the hollows of my cheek. This is a mistake that I used to make a lot when I was a newer artist. If you go too low, it's going to make your face look gaunt and skeletal. It's not going to make your face look lifted, and we want lift, not hollowness. If you have space in your forehead and your forehead here isn't too low, right? Your hairline isn't too low. You're also going to want to place that contour around the hairline, pretty much on top of the bronzer. The next place that you want to place it is in the jawline. A lot of people are unhappy with their jawline, and this is such an easy fix. You just need to add a little bit of contour there. You just need to make a nice strong separation there so we can see the difference between the face and the neck. That will give you a stronger jawline. Again, just pay attention to where I'm putting the shadow here. It's not just underneath the face. It's not just under here. It's actually spilling over a little on the jawline area. So it blends up into the jawline. So look at the difference between the two sides now. It's crazy, isn't it? Finally, let's go in with our blush and give ourselves a little more color. So if you want a lifted effect, blush should be placed about 2 finger widths away from your nose, right up on that cheekbone, blending upwards. Now we can move into our highlight. Now, highlight gives the illusion of things popping forward. So I like to place it in the hollow zones of the eyes, right in here, in the nasolabial fold, and just above the jawline to actually clean up the contour. After you place that color down, just make sure to take a little time to softly blend it all out, okay? Blend everything out so you don't end up with anything looking too harsh or too stripy. Now you can stop here now. It looks really good. You've totally given yourself a makeup facelift, but if you're someone who likes your highlight to have a light reflecting quality to it, you can then go in with a highlighter that has a little bit of illumination. You can sweep that on the cheekbones, on the brow bone. You can even put it on the inner tear duct. You can put it on the bridge of the nose if you want. It's really pretty when you have those little light reflecting pigments on the face as well. You can see a very clear difference here in the before and the after. You can see how on my bare face, a lot of the lines are moving downwards, right? And in the after, all of the lines are moving upwards. Again, here is the after, and here is no makeup, after, no makeup. The crazy thing is that this makeup looks extremely natural while also looking like you had a facelift. Let me know in the comments what video you want for this how-to series next. This video's over.